How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the CanucksLand Podcast, episode 2. Today, we're on a Wednesday, which is weird. Usually these would be on a Friday, but with the franchise mode wrapping up, it's going to be on Friday. I decided to move these to Wednesday for the time being and do this weekly because I asked you guys what you guys wanted on Fridays, and you said a weekly podcast, and I thought, you know what, let's start the weekly podcast this week on Wednesday. I took a week break, did a franchise mode video, but now we're back here on Wednesday. Today we're going through the offseason. But we're adding my expectations. I don't think I ever really talked about what my expectations were for the offseason. I did think, you know what, I kind of did a little bit. But I think we're gonna go through my expectations. You can see all the topics on there if you're watching or if you're listening. We're gonna go through how did I think they would do. Did they meet my expectations? Did they address needs? And I think I forgot a D there. Oh, great. We start this great already. Address needs, question mark, and is this team better? So let's hop right into it with my expectations. So my full expectations were that Besser was going to leave, and we would have not only the hole in the second line center with Suter. I actually kind of thought Suter would stay, but no, I thought Suter was gone as well. We would need to find 2 top 6 wingers along with a top 6 center, add depth, and trade Shilovs. With Besser gone, my expectation was Besser was leaving. I fully thought that he was gone, and yeah, luckily that's not what happened. And Shilovs, I expected about a 4th and a 5th round pick for him, and I didn't really expect too much movement other than that. I just thought they would probably try to add 2 top 6 wingers, solidify our top 6 just a little bit more, trade Shilovs, and add just a little bit more depth, and maybe we get a breakout guy like Hubert Sherwood yet again. Who's some other guys that they had that kind of really broke out? Pius Suter, a guy who could break in maybe into the top 6, but you go out and look for those 2 top 6 guys. Did they meet my expectations? My expectations was pretty quick because that was really it. I didn't really expect much. We didn't get much, but we definitely, I think, did better than what I thought. Did they meet my expectations? I think, yeah. They brought back Besser, which I already thought was 100% better than any top 6 winger that they could have went and got, except for like Nikolai Ehlers. So bringing back Besser, that's a big plus. And they added Kane, so that's another top 6 winger. I know a lot of people think more middle 6. He might play with Pettersson. He might be that guy who goes up and plays on either the left wing with PD and Besser or the right wing with PD and DeBrusque. So he's going to be a top 6 guy in Vancouver, and hopefully he puts up top 6 points. They traded Shilovs for a 4th and a player. I thought they would get a 5th and maybe a player, and then a 4th for sure. No, they got a player with the 4th. That's awesome to see. I'm happy. And they extended Garland and Demko. They did a little better. They did trade Joshua, which hurt a little bit. And they signed guys like Kravtsov and depth, Pio Joseph. And yeah, they did pretty good. I think they met my expectations. I think they exceeded it just a little bit with the extensions. Did not expect those guys to have extensions kick in immediately. Like, they wanted to stick with the team, which was exciting. So now that we got those, did they meet my expectations? What were my expectations? Let's into addressed needs. Yes and no. This one's probably going to be a little bit more of a talking point. So where they were going to address needs with the top 6, and they did. They brought back Besser. That's an addressed need because we thought Besser would be leaving. They brought in Kane. That's another top 6 winger. They needed one more top 6 winger along with the second line center. They haven't gotten that second line center yet, which I think is the one need that they haven't really gone out and addressed totally, like by getting someone. They haven't fully addressed it, but they have tried. They thought of Roslovic. Apparently cooled down talks with Vancouver as of recently, so Roslovic probably will not be coming to Vancouver, but it'd be cool if he does. Rossi extended. I really thought he was going to extend. The price point and the years, I didn't expect that contract. I think the Wild got a bit of a steal, and they for sure didn't want to trade him. They just wanted to bring him back. They didn't want term. He wanted term. It looks like the team won because it's a bridge contract at $5 million. So we're going to have more rumors of trades because he's an RFA at the end of it after the 3 years. So let's wait 3 years. Maybe we get Rossi again. But McTavish, I fully think he's going to sign with Anaheim. They have the cap space. They're going to do it. He'll be back in Anaheim for this season. I don't think he's coming to Vancouver unless contract talks really separate. I already talked about this, but There's been some updates with Roslovic and stuff. Middlestat, I haven't really heard much other than that. Zach is another guy. I haven't really heard much about those two in terms of trades at the moment. The only one I really hear is McTavish. Canucks probably circling back and just testing it just a little bit, but I think they should wait, go into the season, let those teams that are going to lose. Maybe the market opens up, becomes a little sweeter, and they could go pick someone up for a little cheaper than probably what they would get right now. But they didn't address the second line center, but they addressed the top six on the wing, which is perfect. You just have to go make one trade now. It's not like you lost Besser, brought in Kane, and you didn't get a second line center. You also didn't get a winger. You have to go make two trades. You just have to make one trade. You have one need only, and then you can upgrade the defense if you want to. Second line center. I keep saying top. Second line center is number one before we upgrade the defense. Before we go to get a guy like Luke Hughes, who hasn't signed, which that's just a rumor. I don't think that's going to happen. He's going to go back to New Jersey and play with Jack, and then all the brothers are going to play on the Olympic team together, and that's what Rutherford was talking about. Now, the last one. I think this one actually might be the longest. I don't know why I keep saying, oh, this one might be the longest. I only said that once. But did they get better? This is a tough question. I think yes. I wrote notes here. I think that they did get better. Losing Suter sucks, but it's money well spent on a winger than it would have been on a guy like Suter, who had a career year last year, who could regress. It's the reason they call it a career year. Could regress. Could have another career year, right? But I feel like Kane is just a little bit more money better spent, and it's also more low risk. Suter was 2 years? Was it not? It was 2 years for Suter. Let me just do some quick searching. Suter contract. I'm pretty sure it was 2 years at. Yeah, 2 years at that price point, which is still pretty low risk because it's only 2 seasons, so they have to really worry about that cap hit. But Kane is 1 season, provides more stuff. He also has playoff experience, a little bit more grit, a little better. I think than Suter would have been bringing him back, especially it clogs up that center role, and you don't really have a legit 2C unless Hedl breaks out, and now you have a locked up guy, a guy on, I think he's on 1 more year, and they're not both legit 2Cs. That's the other reason I didn't really like Roslovic as a option, because you wouldn't have the legit 2C. If you're going to go out and get one, go get one that is going to be that second line center. Joshua, losing that sucks as well, but it's the money, having the cap space right now, I feel like is a little bit better. And also he's a bottom 6 role. Those can be replaced with guys in the AHL. We just had the team win the Calder Cup. There are going to be a lot of guys looking to push for a playoff, looking to push for a lineup spot. And apologies, guys. I'm going to pause the podcast for a little bit because there's electrical panel's going crazy and there's a bit of a fire, so I got to go deal with that. So the podcast will stop for a little bit. So I'm back. Something's going on with the panel. We don't know. I'm an electrician. I don't even know. There's something to do with the range neutral. We got someone else who is working to come down soon. I'll figure it out. All right. I don't know where I was. Is the team better? I think is where I was. What was the last little thing that I'll have to add? I apologize. That sent me through a muck. I don't want to re-record. I was doing really good. Where does Hoglander fit in all this? I think Hoglander fits in a trade for a 2C. Specifically, I think that Hoglander is going to be dealt in that trade to get a 2C. Middle 6 kind of guy who could definitely blossom into a top 6 kind of guy. He'd be a guy that we'd miss. I understand keeping him because Kane's only a 1 year. Maybe he has a bounce back year and then does really good. But Hoglander at the moment seems like the one trade piece that we have in the forward group that would open cap space and also open room in our top 6 for someone, because Hedl would have to move down into the third line role, and then Ratu would have to move down to fourth line, right? Then, or move over to the winger on the third line, and then that would move Hoglander out. So yeah, that is it for this podcast. I apologize. It's a little scuffed because this thing decided to start sparking all of a sudden. But yeah, that has been it. I'll see you guys in the next one. I don't know if it's will be Wednesday or Friday. We will know on Friday when the franchise mode episode comes out. If we make the playoffs, it won't be. If we don't, if we make the playoffs, it won't be on Friday. If we do, it will be on Friday. See you guys in the next one. If you're watching the video on your right, it's the video from Monday. The video on your left is the video from Friday. Subscribe's right down under there. See you guys in the next one.